Welcome, welcome. I'm Vinod Ramachandran. I lead our Commerce AI products at Google Cloud. I'm thrilled to be here. Very shortly, we are going to have an exciting guest joining us on stage. And we will have enough time for you to also ask us questions towards the end. So please think about it. Let's keep this conversational. But first, we are all witnessing the reinvention of customer journey in real time. Not gradually, not eventually, right now. AI is fundamentally changing how people search, how they explore, how they shop, and frankly, what they expect from every single interaction they have with a brand. Customers no longer want experiences where they have to do all the work. They want experiences that understand them, experiences that adapt to them, and experiences that help them move forward. In short, they want experiences that feel intelligent. And that's why this moment matters so much for retailers and brands, because it's not just about adopting a new technology. It's about redefining the front door of your customer experience. So at Google, we believe that customer experience has entered a new era. But let's be honest, most of the brands today are not yet built for this reality. Today, the systems are fragmented, the data is siloed, the shopping experiences are completely disconnected from support. Too often, customers will have to do the heavy lifting. They have to translate their true intent into your exact keywords. When they move from an app to a website, they have to start all over again. And when that experience breaks down, they lose trust and they leave. It creates profound frustration for the shoppers and real lost revenue for retailers. Now, this is a big problem because it creates a massive challenge for brands who are dealing with these disconnected systems, because while they're dealing with this, the consumer baseline has already shifted. Customers are already using AI every day. They use it when they ask complex questions using natural language, when they compare options, when they demand faster answers and better recommendations. The thing is, those expectations, they don't just stop at search. They carry over into every interaction they have with your brand. Customers today expect brands to understand context. They want to have the feeling of the help being conversational. And they increasingly want digital experiences not just to respond to them, but to actually guide them. This is a profound shift, and it creates a massive opportunity for brands that are ready to meet it. Because the companies that are going to win in this space aren't going to be the ones that are simply sprinkling AI at the edges of their broken systems. They're going to use AI to fundamentally redefine how their customers discover, decide, buy, and engage. And that's why we built Gemini Enterprise for Customer Experience platform at Google Cloud. We have designed this to be a unified agentic solution that brings together shopping, search, and customer support into a single intelligent interface. It moves brands away from these fragmented interactions into one unified, connected journey. Journeys where context persists, journeys where personalization actually improves, and journeys where AI is not just responding to them, but is helping the customers make progress. And the clearest vision of this comes to life with our shopping agent. This is where the shift becomes tangible. As you probably all know, until now, online shopping has forced the customers to adapt to the interface. They have to search, use the right keywords, they have to click on filters, they have to search again. But that's not how people actually shop in the real world. People shop with context. They have preferences, trade-offs, uncertainty. They shop with occasions, prices, budgets, images, and half-formed ideas. For example, they might say things like, I want healthy dinners for a week for my picky toddler and 2 adults. Or they may say things like, I'm looking for a sofa for my small apartment, but I still want it to be elevated. Or I'm looking for an outfit for a work dinner that feels polished but not overdressed. This is how customers think. The shopping agent is built exactly for that. It supports complex planning and reasoning. It understands nuanced queries. It asks smart follow-up questions. And it helps to make sense of a broad set of options in a way that feels completely natural. But it isn't about just retrieving products. It's about helping people decide. So the experience must be deeply multimodal. With the shopping agent, you can interact with it via text. You can speak naturally using bidirectional voice, or you can upload images. And users can move fluidly between these modes depending on whatever is easiest to them at that moment. So because shopping isn't always about text, sometimes you feel like talking. Sometimes you feel like holding up an image and saying, this is exactly what I want. Our shopping agent absorbs all these signals and crafts an intelligent journey. It can present products visually with real-time pricing information. It suggests complementary accessories, and it helps build a fuller basket, not just a single item. And this model is fundamentally different from traditional e-commerce. It is not a simple search bar. It is not a static widget. It is a guided shopping experience that understands what the user means, not just what they typed. And crucially, the shopping agent drives actions. It does not just recommend products. Using our shopping agent, a shopper can ask it to add products to cart, refine their choices, and go all the way from top-of-funnel discovery to checkout, all within the same experience. Now, that is the power of an agent. It isn't just about assisting. It is about helping customers move forward. Now, for businesses and for retailers, the impact is very clear. The shopping agent drives higher conversion rates, larger basket sizes, and higher revenue per visitor. But what's more important is the experience outcome itself, because intelligent, personalized shopping experiences build trust, and trust drives loyalty. Now, all of this becomes exponentially more powerful because the shopping agent sits within our broader ecosystem of Gemini Enterprise for customer experience. So our AI commerce search product remains an essential foundation for product discovery. It is the engine that understands the deep user intent, it retrieves the exact right products, and it personalizes discovery. But shopping doesn't end at checkout. The customer support experiences are equally important. So that's why we built the CX Agent Studio. With CX Agent Studio, businesses can build personalized multimodal support agents that retain context throughout the customer journey. So the story here is that it's all about connected experiences. Shopping, search, and customer support all become stronger when they work together. With our support agents, they work across multiple channels, including your website, your call center, your in-store phone calls, messaging channels, and more. This entire vision comes into reality because we are combining 3 key things. First is your greatest strengths, your brand knowledge, your brand voice, your product knowledge, your customer data. We are combining that with the advanced reasoning and intelligence of our Gemini models, and we are combining that with the real-time web search grounding information of Google Search and other Google products. So by synthesizing your greatest strengths, your unique retail expertise, with our model intelligence and the live pulse of the web, we are able to produce innovative, out-of-the-box experiences that feel deeply relevant, accurate, and it's completely bespoke for your business. Partnering with Google here matters a lot because we bring a lot of unique strengths to this area. We have deep understanding of user intent. decades of AI innovation, enterprise-grade infrastructure, and our platform-centric approach to the whole problem space that spans the entire customer journey. So the future of commerce is agentic. The best digital systems are no longer going to be passive. They're going to guide instead of just respond. They're going to recreate that feeling of a great in-store associate who listens, understands, narrows down the options, and help turn that uncertainty into confidence. Instead of just describing this future, I want to talk about who is actually building it today. So when you have a 100-year legacy and serving millions of customers every week, the stakes for innovation are really high. Woolworths, Australia's largest retailer, isn't just setting pace with the expectations. They're actually setting a new standard. They are one of our earliest partners, and by taking their digital assistant, Olive, to a next level, they are transforming it from a standard support bot into a more proactive, intuitive partner, one that anticipates needs, one that helps plan meals for millions of families, and helps them find the best value every day. Woolworths is proving that massive scale and deep agility can go hand in hand. They are true pioneers in the space, so I'm thrilled to have them here today to walk us through how they are turning this vision into reality. So please welcome Venky from Woolworths, our wonderful partner, to share their journey with us. Venky.
Thanks, Vinod. Yeah. Thank you, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope all of you are also grappling through all of those amazing things that was announced at the keynote earlier today. I'm still trying to figure out all these key things that were announced, which is all cool stuff. Team, so introducing myself, I'm Venky. I'm one of the directors of technology that looks after all of the digital experiences across the Woolworths group. How many of you know Woolworths in this audience? Love it. There's a fair few, which is good. Good news. A little bit about Woolworths, as Vinod proudly mentioned. So we're a 100-year-old company, and we are the largest retailer in Australia. We serve millions of customers each week. We also have probably the largest retail loyalty program in Australia. And just to put things into perspective, our supermarket e-com market share is about 54% in the country. So we're pretty big, and one of the reasons why we've been big and we've survived these 100 years is trying to innovate in our products, giving amazing products to our customers, and also being in the forefront of digital, right? So that's been a journey so far. And just a little bit about a partnership with with Google. So Google's been a strategic partner for Woolworths for quite some time. So we use them for a whole bunch of capabilities. We use their compute for a whole bunch of applications. Pretty much all of our data is in their BigQuery data lake. We use Vertex AI for all our AI applications. And now, recently, I've got my colleagues here as well who've rolled out Gemini Enterprise for the entire organization. Some pretty amazing stats. And now, Gemini Enterprise for CX, which we're going to show a demo so you can actually see it working in a retail environment, like a grocery environment. Right? So there's three things that I'd like to talk to you in the next 10 to 15 minutes. The first thing is I'd like to take you through the different waves of AI and some tangible use cases of how we've ridden those waves right until the agentic era. The second thing is we'd like to show you a demo of the shopping agent. In its simple sense, the shopping agent enables agentic commerce as an experience for our customers. So we'd like to show you a demo and how we've actually approached it bite-sized. And finally, we also like to take you through an evaluation framework on how we ground these agents at scale so that you can evaluate infinite use cases which these agents can actually give us. Right? So those are three key things before we head into a Q&A, and we're really keen to answer some of the curly questions you may have. Right? So just before getting in, I'd like to, I think Vinod mentioned briefly, so Olive is a shopping assistant. She's really powerful. She's earned a brand for herself in the country. So in Australia, a lot of people know Olive as an intelligent shopping assistant within Woolworths. So when I refer to Olive, it's our shopping assistant, okay? So our AI journey so far in the waves that we've ridden, the first wave, I think a lot of you know, is the deterministic AI wave, right? So it's pretty much the if then else kind of combo at scale. I'm not sure if you guys have used Dialogflow, but Dialogflow is one of the products that we've used at scale, probably globally from Google. And we use it for, Olive uses it for addressing customer service inquiries, right? To give you some perspective as to how we've used it effectively, so we deflect about 70% of our queries to our customer service using deterministic Dialogflow experiences today. And we still have millions of customer service contacts. So you can then see the scale of benefit that we earn from this. And not just that, so when we had COVID, e-commerce business just grew exponentially. And whilst the business was growing exponentially, we were able to service the customers at the same level of contact center representatives because of this great feature. And we also still retained the same customer service satisfaction scores. So it's huge, it's been amazing. So we actually literally rode that wave. Wave 2, I think a lot of you know, which is predictive AI, and which is the probabilistic AI kind of journey. I think one of the most common use cases all of you know about predictive AI is personalized shopping recommendations. I think Vinod alluded earlier on that close to 70% of our customers expect personalized experiences in their journey. As I mentioned earlier, so our loyalty program is pretty famous in Australia. So we actually churn through trillions of data points every single week, and we generate close to 150 million unique offers using these capabilities each week. And putting that in perspective of an Australian population that's only 30 million, I think that's a lot of offers being generated, right? So, so that's predictive AI. And then, actually, in my opinion, I think one of the most profound inventions of our time is generative AI. And I don't have to talk about Gen AI because you guys use Gen AI at scale, I'm sure, many, or even for your day-to-day use cases. But again, anchoring back to Olive, one simple use case of the many generative AI use cases we use is a call wrapper functionality. So at the end of every call, it does a call wrapping, and it saves 3 minutes per contact. Again, across millions of contacts, that's tangible value that we use generative AI for as one of the many use cases, apart from marketing and creating images and content. And then here we are, agentic AI, right? So I was fortunate enough to be at Adobe conference on Monday, where Jensen Huang actually had a little bit of a keynote. And one of the things he said was, he did say that NVIDIA was too early to agentic AI about 7 years ago. They were really early 6 years ago, but he said now is the actual moment when it's the right time for everyone to adopt agentic AI, right? And he said, if you miss the moment this particular year, you're actually going to fall behind. And one of the quotes that he said, which actually resonated really nicely with me, is you don't have to be early, but you can't be late. So I think if you leave it to anything beyond 2026, I think we're going to be a bit late as an organization to adopt to agentic AI, right? So it's a couple of, we use a number of agentic use cases. As I mentioned earlier on, our team here have actually rolled out Gemini Enterprise for organization. I think just in a few weeks or months, I was just hearing some numbers about 9,000 agents built, but non-technical people. That's a massive number across the organization. But today, we'd like to take you through our approach to agentic commerce using the shopping assistant, shopping agent from Gemini Enterprise for CX, customer experience, right? So, what's agentic commerce, right? In its simple terms, we're just moving from product-based journeys where you go search, browse, add to cart, blah, 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 and all that stuff. And then you just go into a mission-based journey, right? Like the one that I think Vinod alluded earlier. I'd like to make a dinner for a picky kid, suggest some recipes, et cetera, which we'll go through a few use cases later today, which I believe is pretty cool. It's simple. So pretty much we go from all these different touch points of how we used to navigate our digital properties to a single prompt, right? Which is send me dinner tonight. Otherwise, you'd have to just go through and browse and add to cart and validate the cart and check your delivery windows, etc., before you place an order. So the first thing, so we actually had to approach agentic commerce in a bite-sized way because we can't get everything done in day one, right? So the first thing we said is we wanted to define a North Star. And our North Star was simple. We just wanted to make sure that shopping feels like magic for our customers. Simple, right? And you can see Olive there. She's dancing. So that's Olive. So that's a little chatbot on the side. She's pretty cool. She's always happy. So that was a kind of a North Star. That is a North Star goal. So moving on, as with many choices, we've got on-canvas or on-platform agentic commerce, which is building agentic commerce on your platform's shopping assistant. And then you have off-platform where you can actually integrate agentic commerce through ChatGPT or Gemini or any other off-canvas platforms. But we honed in, and thankfully, Gemini Enterprise for customer experience is just a key enabler for on-canvas or on-platform agentic commerce. So we focused on that. Moving on, so we also looked at what are some of the key use cases that our customers actually interact with us, right? So they use us for meal planning. They want to get their meals planned. Smart baskets, because pretty much a grocery, I'm sure you guys who are used to grocery shopping, all your items are pretty much repetitive orders each week. So how can we build a smart basket for our customers? We're big in stores, so we've got over 1,000 stores in Australia and also in New Zealand. So how can we actually help, like the Walmart example you heard earlier today, for our in-store staff, and then the customer service aspects of how can we assist a customer when there's an issue, right? So these are some of the key use cases we want to tackle first before we get into an end-to-end purchase journey, right? The demo. Oh, we got there early, so which is good. So the demo God's permitting, let's give it a go. It's actually a live product that was launched earlier this week for all of our staff within the group, which is about 200,000 people. So it's pretty cool. Let's see it working in action. Can you please get the demo, please? Thank you. Sweet. Okay. So that there is a beautiful Woolworths app. So I'll just go in. Perfect. So that's a homepage live in production. And you can see Olive right at the right-hand side. And one of the most common UX challenges that we are trying to solve in retail world is how can we merge the search and the chat experiences together. So we're slowly trying to bring it together. So I'll open Olive. That's her saying hello to all of you. Cool. Now, we integrated into the shopping agent in the Gemini Enterprise suite. So let's give it a go. So, hi Olive. Can you please add eggs, bread, and a couple of other things for dinner tonight? Thinking. Just give her a bit of time. There you go, perfect, right? So I think some of the things that I want to actually let you guys know is one of the cool things is you can actually anchor your designs, your company's design system in this experience. So those product cards that you see is pretty much consistent with what you would see on a website or app for your company. So you can actually anchor your design system to generate these amazing experiences. Now you can actually then ask a lot of follow-up questions. I'll go, can you give me organic options? It's just infinite possibilities, right? Let's keep going for a bit and see where we go. There you go. So organic bread, organic blah, blah, blah. I go add them to the cart. perfect. I'm not sure if you noticed, on the top right-hand side is a cart. It went from 3 to 6 items. There's many more things, right? So let's go a bit multimodal. So I'll go to the photo library, which is a bit of a risk, but anyway, in Vegas. It's a bit boring, but anyway. So I'll take that and I'll go, give me a recipe for this. I mean, you don't have to say hi Olive all the time. I think it's in context, right? So she's a bit forgiving. Perfect. So it's figured out it's a pasta carbonara. I mean, I think it's probably got the spaghetti a bit wrong, I think, but it's got the whole thing in there and the ingredients, etc. So I can just go add to cart. It adds it to cart. Perfect. Right, and you can see the cart's gone from 6 to 13 products. One of the cool use cases, I was actually trying it last night, which I didn't try before. I think people are actually going through a lot of cost of living crisis, right? So people want cheaper product options. So I actually tried it last night. I didn't do it before, so I go, give me cheaper product options for the items in cart. Putting it together. There you go. It gives you affordable essentials, right? So I can go swap them to the cart. I'll just share a couple of more key use cases, which you can see in action. Perfect, it's done it. And then you can go, one of the things I tried again last night is, how much have I saved? Yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't have to, savings calculation. It actually came back with the savings yesterday, so which is pretty cool. One of the other things that we have as a business is we actually have a massive B2C grocery business, but we also have a B2B business. And the key use cases for our B2B customers, pretty much which are childcare centers, they want to have meal planning for the week and then make sure they order those grocery items for the week, right? So you could go, give me a meal plan, healthy meal plan for 40 kids for a week. And there you go. So it tells you by the day a meal plan of what you can actually have for the entire week. So I can just go based on serving size, add the right quantities to my cart. There you go. It actually added like 7 of those macro lentil bites, et cetera, right? It's just infinite possibilities. I'll stop the demo there, but I think you guys can see the potential of this amazing agents. Now, I just want to leave you guys with a few thoughts before I wrap the demo. First thing is, well, that's my son, okay? He's calling me. Yeah, cool. It's always good to have a call from him. I promise I turned off cellular, but it's good, it's good. Some of the cool things that I want to leave you guys with. One is, with these agents, you can actually anchor back to your design system, which is awesome. The second thing is, all of this is grounded within your company's data. Like if you ask for recipes or ingredients, it actually operates within your company's context, so it builds trust and it doesn't actually move away from your company's data, which is awesome. And I think a lot of you in this room would know, if you were to go and ask a development team To build all of these experiences really quickly, which took us about 3 months to build, you would know the amount of mayhem they'll have to go through between the BAs and delivery managers and product managers and developers trying to pull it all together, code hundreds and thousands of lines of code to bring it to life. And this is just configuring a bunch of agents, grounding it with our data, and there you go, right? Off you go. So it's that simple. And it's quite amazing. I think where to from here, there's so many things we can do. You've just seen it at the macro level. We intend to finish the entire shopping journey using this. We can anchor this and weave this into the entire end-to-end digital experience that we've got on our platforms. So there's many, many things to come, but that's a brief demo that I wanted to share. So a massive congratulations to the team at Google and my amazing team at Woolworths who have actually pulled this together in record time. So huge. Thanks. All right, so moving back to the Prezzo, I'm definitely not going to order 48 items, but can you take me back to the presentation, team? Sweet. We actually had a backup demo just in case. So again, one of the things, right? So large corporates, large organizations, particularly when customers trust you so much, you want to make sure you have some principles that you can't deviate from, right? So we just defined along the way as we build these things, we just stick ourselves to these 6 core principles. Keep it simple, keep it super customer-centric. It should be trustworthy, grounding the data. Super friendly, Olive is really cool, so we're going to change the tone of knowledge maybe a little bit later. Super knowledgeable and extremely delightful, right? So that's kind of some of the principles that we always stick to and validate against when we want to incrementally move forward. Now this is one of the amazing capabilities that we built in order for us to scale agentic commerce at pace. So I'll try and explain this. So what we've done is we've actually built a panel of 8 judges. You see 6 of them here. 2 of them probably didn't fit in the page, right? So all of these judges are agents that we've built proprietarily. What they do is they all have a mission, and they emulate Olive, because when you actually look at agentic commerce, it has got infinite possibilities. You can't dictate the if, then, else, and a finite number of scenarios. So these judges then emulate Olive and use LLMs to evaluate Olive at scale. Right? So you don't need this manual testing. You can have trust that what you're going to launch is actually going to be grounded and it's going to be awesome. Right? So I'll take you through some of the examples of how these things evaluate. Right? So the first one is a number cruncher. So what that does is it uses a golden data set, which is our data set, and it recalculates every math claim that we've got. For example, the best unit price, the price of the item, the ingredients within the item, et cetera, or the serving size of a recipe. So it just makes sure that whatever the agent is providing, it emulates that at scale and makes sure that it's actually giving the right, accurate information to our customers, right? So that's Number Cruncher, one of our judges. All of these are agents just running autonomously. Product Detective, that's awesome, right? So Product Detective enables us to make sure that the products that are being served by the agent accurately reflects the product description that we've got. Because one of the most important things is in organizations like us, particularly in the grocery space, you've got risk, you've got legal, you've got compliance, you've got food safety, food compliance. There's so many things that actually could go wrong. So making sure that this Product Detective is got all those skills embedded in it and scans for any anomalies is so important at scale to then launch and roll out this product. So there's a whole bunch of these things. But one of the things I really liked was another judge that can't fit in here, which is a goal judge, like GOAL. So what it does is when you give it a mission saying, build a basket, for example, build a basket within $20 for a dinner tonight, it should include a roasted chicken, for example, right? So if the agent accidentally comes back with $25, then the goal is not met. And it would fail the use case, and it'll actually immediately alert us saying there's an issue, right? So you need something like this, like a bunch of agentic judges to actually implement products like agentic commerce or agentic solutions to scale across your organizations and customers, particularly when you have a large audience. So that, friends, is probably the last slide that I had to share with all of you. Hopefully you found it a bit insightful, but we'll do a little bit of a Q&A between me and Vinod, and we'll open it up for questions. Yeah.
So, isn't Venky amazing? I mean, like the query where the totals did not show up, is to illustrate that this is actually a live product. This was not made up demo. This is really live. So it's kind of incredible how this partnership has worked to kind of produce some of these magical experiences. Again, we're all at the beginning of the journey. There is a lot of exciting stuff to build. But I have a few questions for Venky, but before that, if you all have any questions you want to ask either of us, please raise your hand and ask so we can keep this very interactive. Because they are the practitioners, they are the ones who have actually taken this to market, and they've gone through all the ups and downs, right, in this process.
That's beautiful.
So maybe as one of you gets, yeah, please go ahead.
I'm just curious about measures of success, how you evaluated the performance of Olive and how you thought about that as you were kind of testing it and then eventually scaling it. Were there multiple iterations before you scaled it?
I mean, we have a number of measures of success, except, apart from making sure those agentic judges tick the box, conversion rate is one of the most important measures of success that we've got. And also an engagement percentage with Olive is another important measure of success that we have.
Yeah, so the best way we kind of work with all partners is that they run an A/B test with the agent being available versus the agent not being available, and you actually see what happens to your conversion rate, what happens to your average basket size, does it increase your revenue per visitor, all of those things you can actually measure, right? And so ultimately, we want to lead to better business outcomes, for all partners. But as I said earlier, there's one that's business outcome, but increasingly consumer expectations are also changing, right? Like they want capabilities like this. Very soon, as Venky said, in 2026, if you're not participating in this, you're soon going to fall behind, right?
Sure.
And so that's meeting consumer expectations is important as well.
Yeah.
There's a question of the, yeah.
Hopefully we get some larger baskets as well as part of that.
Sorry, can you go ahead?
Hi there. My name's Ruchika. It's less a question, but more just a thought statement. One of the earliest slides that you had sort of said, look, in the old way of the purchase funnel was step A, step B, step C, step D, and now it's just like, send me dinner tonight. But it kind of isn't there yet. Not that your app isn't, but just we as a society. I don't think anyone's jumping into that step. And I just wanted to understand what you're thinking. And there were so many times where you could say add to cart, but you were given the choice. You know what I mean? And I just haven't found that the consumers fully going to that sort of send me dinner tonight and I want no input. Not because they're bothered by the clicks, but because they want to input and discuss, right? It's still you're talking to an agent, you're just not clicking filters and stuff. So I just wanted to get your thought on that.
Sure.
Do you really think you're going to go to send me dinner tonight?
Sure. Maybe I'll take a go and I'll pass it on to you. See, I think this is the first evolution, right? And customers are getting really used to these conversational journeys as we speak. Now, I think where we would like to take this is start and be more proactive in recommending baskets for your customers, and then starting a conversation from that proactive basket. Roughly, don't quote me on this math, but I believe about 80% of our groceries are repeat purchases, right? So if you actually show up a smart basket, which you've repeatedly purchased each week, and then start the journey from there, it's a nudge to make that a lot more easier. So that's one example. The other example where this will become effective, and hopefully as part of the tests, is for our on-demand propositions, where you need groceries delivered within 30 minutes, the basket size is really small. And all of these are super personalized experience based on your past purchase. So where you only order a handful of items. So you dictating it, looking into your past purchase, and then evolving to a shopping journey is something that we see would be a good uptake.
The urgency factor.
The urgency part, yeah. But do you want
I think a couple of more things I would add, right? I think your point is valid that there is an awareness problem on, when you're shopping on a site. But if you look at your own behavior or our own behavior on Gemini app or AI mode on Google, the kinds of questions that consumers have now started asking are extremely complex, right? And with our partners, when we launched this shopping agent, we are also seeing the types of questions that they're asking. Once they know they can ask these questions, have become extremely complex. So it's just a matter of time for them to know that I can actually do complex planning on Woolworths site or Woolworths app, and then that's going to take off. Because at the end of the day, what fundamentally matters is, are you helping save time for them, or are you helping save money for them? If you do that well, they would latch onto it.
Cool. This is good. Please ask us some tough questions.
Thank you so much for the presentation. It was fantastic to see, and congrats on getting that AI agent live. It's exciting to see it in front of customers in the future as well. I'd love to know, where do you see the intersection of your AI agents and your humans within your business? So your customer service staff and your live agents potentially, and what's your future thinking around how AI agents might interact with the humans who are also servicing? It could be in a contact center or in a store. Do you see a cross section of them maybe using some of these in the future, or managing AI agents in the future maybe as well?
Yeah, but you've got to start because
I can take that. So basically, as you saw, what we are offering as part of the platform is the ability to do shopping and the ability to do support. And within that, if the user wants to, it should ideally handle almost all of the support cases. But if the user really wants to talk to a human agent, it can automatically hand off to any human agent platform that you have, or potentially even any external agent that you have built yourself. Our Gemini Enterprise for customer experience platform can talk to those agents, right? So, but all of them happening within a single interface. That is the key piece. Today, as you probably know, if a user goes to a site, if they want to search, they click here. If they want customer support, they click here. If they have some other question, they don't even know what to do, right? But how could you bring all of these things from a user experience into one interface? But internally, whether it calls an external human handoff agent or your external agent, it should not matter to the consumers, and that's where we are getting the platform to be. I think it's very obvious, right, to all of us that the experience should converge. Anything that we are seeing is very much a transient state today, that inefficiency will be soon corrected.
But one thing is, we see less and less of human handoffs because more and more you train this, and the knowledge you give in the context of your organization, I think it'll be able to give you more precise responses. So it's going to be very less and less an on-demand, more than a problem-oriented query. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm Naveen from Colgate Palmolive. I think Woolworths is a great partner that we work with in Australia. A couple of questions on the how. So when you had to build this agentic commerce experience, how did you go about solving for a catalog? Because you probably had a catalog, you had an online site, you had an app, but now based on the Q&A that you did, you need a lot more attributes, which means data probably needs to be found from multiple places. That is one. How did you go about that? And the second question is, I did see the number of agents, the judge agents that you created, and obviously you work with multiple retailers. So how are you handling, right? Like when you're looking at data coming from multiple retailers, and once you start creating judge agents, right? How do you go about it? Is it purely like a simple math, or is it like a threshold? How do you go about telling this claim is better than this claim?
Yeah, cool. So the first thing is, it's actually pretty, as simple as it sounds, it's pretty easy for you to actually integrate whole of your organizational data with the shopping agent product, right? So you asked a question about how do you integrate your catalog data. I mean, just think about your search platforms or your product detail API platforms, right? So we integrate as search product detail APIs, plus some of our personalization services via APIs as tools into the shopping agent. So that's good enough for the agent to then read of those data and be as precise as possible. So that's how we do it. It's actually pretty easy. I think it took a while for us to make sure that the grounding and testing is super important. That is one part. The second thing is how are we actually doing using the judges, right? So in the judges, there's a few things that we're doing in the judge world. One is we're using a whole bunch of rubrics as an algo to just make sure that the judges evaluate properly. That is one. And then that's just purely from that perspective. The second thing is we also give those judges like a golden data set, right? So it uses a golden data set then to compare and solve mathematical problems, which is just pure algorithmic problems that the LLMs can handle. That's how we do it.
Great questions. I know we are at time.
We're at time.
So, thank you all for joining, and thank you, Venky, for joining here, and congratulations to the Woolworths team. But thank you all for joining. We'll hang around for a few more minutes if you have more questions. Thank you.
Thanks, team. Thank you.